In a time-honoured story set in an ancient Himalayan kingdom, a novice monk was excited at the prospect of meeting his teacher for the first time. He was on fire with questions, but sensed that this was not the time to ask them. Instead, he listened carefully to the teacher's instructions. They were brief and to the point. Get up early tomorrow and climb to a cave you'll find at the top of this mountain. Sit from dawn to dusk and have no thoughts. Use any method you wish to banish thought. When the day is over, come and tell me how it went. At dawn the next day, the novice found the cave, made himself comfortable, and waited for his mind to settle. He thought that if he sat long enough, it would become blank. Instead, his mind was crowded with thoughts. Soon he started to worry about failing the task he'd been set. He tried to force the thoughts out of his mind, but that just produced more thoughts. He shouted at them to go away, but the words echoed noisily in the cave. He jumped up and down, held his breath, shook his head. Nothing seemed to work. He'd never known such a bombardment of thoughts in his life. At the end of the day, he climbed back down, completely dispirited, wondering what his teacher's response would be. Perhaps he'd be dismissed as a failure, unsuitable for further training. But the teacher just burst out laughing at the tale of his mental and physical gymnastics. "Very good. You have tried really hard and done well," he said. "Tomorrow you should go back to the cave, sit from dawn to dusk, having nothing but thoughts. Think of anything you like all day long, but allow no gaps to occur between your thoughts." The novice was really pleased. This would be easy. He was bound to succeed. After all, having thoughts is what had been happening to him all day. The next day saw him climbing up with confidence to his cave and taking his seat. After a little while he realized that all was not well. His thoughts started to slow down. Occasionally a pleasant thought would come to mind and he would decide to follow it for a while, but soon it dried up. He tried to think grand thoughts, philosophical speculations, to worry about the state of the universe. Anything. He started to run low on things to think about, and even got a little bored. Where had all his thinking gone? Then he noticed gaps in his thinking. Oh dear, this was what he'd been told to avoid. Another failure. At the end of the day he felt pretty wretched. He'd failed again. He climbed down the mountain and went to find his teacher, who burst out laughing again. "Congratulations! Wonderful! Now you know how to practice perfectly." He didn't understand why the teacher was so pleased. What on earth had he learned? The teacher was pleased because the novice was now ready to recognize something of real significance. You cannot force the mind, and if you try to, you won't like what comes of it.